Good evening. Andy Rice in Stanford, Texas. Well, I shifted directions again and changed what my material is going to be tonight. I watched a video from Katie Barkattle uh, earlier today on TikTok, and he had uh, he had some comments on pretty apolitical comments. He wasn't being politically divisive. He just had some really good comments on the history of Europe and the war in Ukraine and uh, how things have been and how they probably always will be. Well, that reminded me of a couple things that I told him I'd written a poem a while back on this, and I'd dust it off tonight and do it. I don't know if you like it or not, but might make some people mad. I don't know. Um, but one of the things, it also reminded me that I've been reading Will Rogers since I was 10 years old. And Will Rogers, Baxter Black, and Ben Jonson are my three mainstays, and that influenced me to do this, whether I'm good or bad at either way, to write and to provide commentary. Those three men, Baxter Black and Will, uh, did most. Ben Jonson he's just cool. Um, but if you go back today and you read, and this is I'm capitalizing off Katie Barkattle's comments today. If you go back and read what Will Rogers and his political satire, that sounds kind of funny, but there's a whole lot of truth in what that man said. If you go back and read what he wrote about Democrats and Republicans, both Republicans and Democrats, it's all still the same. Nothing's ever changed. And I'm definitely no Louis L'Amour, but I've traveled about as much as Louis did, and I've seen a few things. And a while back, I wrote this poem, and Katie Barkattle uh, reminded me of it, so I pulled it out tonight. So I'm gonna do it for you. The title of this poem is called Homeland. An old soldier I am, but never again will I support any foreign war at all. You see, war is politicians, defense industry, and the CIA simply lining up the lottery balls. I was there when one president did say, mercenaries are troops and military are not. Of course, we all believed it then, and some still do, while politicians lick the honeypot. We topple a dictator or group based on terrorism or humanitarian rights. Why don't you ask those folks today how is their human condition under their current plight? From Vietnam to Afghanistan, worse, politicians have left every place. Human rights conditions in each of these countries a vile human disgrace. Yet billions were made from each of these engagements and wars off the backs of troops and the people of a war-torn country by these disgusting whores. From the Bay of Pigs, the fall of the Soviet Empire, and all their predictions gone astray, we still believe and allow the CIA to exist and push our troops into harm's way. If leading and protecting the world was the sole intent of all of our political leaders, then why did we leave those ravaged countries while they still feed on the money like hogs on feeders? The damage they have caused, only the people of the ravaged country are left to repair, while they idle away time writing books worth millions and billions about their legacy without even a care. Before I leave you tonight, I'd have to go find the book. But President Truman said one of his biggest regrets in life was signing the orders to create the CIA. Didn't want to do it and was pressured into it, but it was one of his biggest regrets. So think about everything post-World War II to current and how that's all went. And hadn't went real well. Have a good evening.